So Jack Della Maddalena just beat Belal Muhammad at UFC 315 in Montreal, and he was not afraid to call out Islam Makhachev.
I think it's a beautiful challenge. I'm going to get him back for Volk.
He knew that that fight was up next, and he got ahead of it. He didn't pull a Juliana Pena and say, oh, well, I don't know. We got to see who's next. I don't know. He didn't pull a John Jones and say, how can I be ducking if I'm living my best life, as he rode away on a motorcycle in Thailand with a lady boy. He didn't do that. He got ahead of it. I want to fight the best in the world, and I want to get revenge for Volk. So he's already off to a great start. And his performance against Belal Muhammad, it was so impressive that a lot of people, including myself, are second guessing how easy this is going to be for Islam Makhachev to just move up. I don't think it's going to be like taking candy from a baby. I think Jack is really him. And in this video, I'm going to break down my prediction for this fight. I'm going to show a couple of things that I think a lot of people are missing when looking at this potential matchup. So first, we're going to look at size. And I have this video. So Jack, obviously, he just fought Belal Muhammad, right? And so you can see Jack, he's just as muscular, if not more muscular than Belal Muhammad. So now, how is Islam going to match up? We have this video of Islam calling Belal brother. You could see they look like pretty much the same size. Islam does look a little bit bigger than him. You know, they say Islam walks around 178, 180. I don't know what Belal walks around at. I would think that he walks around like 185, 190. And I would think that JDM walks around 190, 200. Honestly, who knows? And even when these coaches be saying, yeah, he walks around 250 and he cuts 100 pounds.
Stop the cap.
No, you can't. It's hard to really know unless you see it. Also, guys, that Bo Nickel video was fake. Where he was 220, that was fake.
Guys, I wasn't 222.
Here's what I want to get into is Islam might walk around at 178. And he might be big for a lightweight. But that doesn't mean that he's going to perfectly fit in at 170. Like, I think he still has some filling in to do. He's been making 155 for the last 15 years, right? It's not like he's just naturally going to fill in and that extra 10 pounds of muscle, 15 pounds of muscle that welterweights usually walk around with. I don't know if he just has that on him. I really don't think he's as big as we think he is. When we compare him to like the big, a quote unquote big 155er that he fought, who's a quote unquote big 155er he fought? Poirier? You look at him fighting Poirier, it doesn't look like, oh, this guy could be a welterweight, but he's fighting a lightweight. It looks like two lightweights. Like, they look the same size. And sure, Poirier could also fight welterweight. We could all fight welterweight, dude. That's like the average size of a human man on earth. We could all fight welterweight. But I don't think that he's big enough to go up to 170 and like out muscle a 170 pounder. Maybe he can. Maybe he's built different. Maybe he's got the Dagestani, whatever. But I don't know if he's going to be able to like bully these guys the way that he bullies the guys 15 pounds lighter the way he usually has been. Now let's talk about striking. Islam fought two of the best strikers in the UFC, arguably, Poirier and Volkanovski. So how did he do against those guys striking? Well, if you look at the stats of him versus... Well, of course I don't have them up, huh?
Where they at, though?
If you look at the stats between him and Volkanovski, the striking stats were very, very close. Like, he had to... If he wasn't taking down Volk every 5 seconds, shooting takedowns every 5 seconds, the striking would have been... Volk probably could have figured it out if it was just a pure striking match. But it is not a pure striking match. Poirier, I think we might have this misconception just because he finished the fight that he was just dominating the whole fight. 2 judges had it 3-1. 1 judge had it 2-2. Also, Poirier was doing that fake retirement thing where you shine bright like a diamond. You know, it was like a fake retirement fight. He was pump faking. Hey, this might be the last one. We don't know. So the judges and the crowd, everyone, was out there to see Poirier win. And so when that 5th round came around, I don't know if y'all remember this. I was thinking, dude, Islam really needs to win this 5th round so that there's no doubts, because there was a couple of doubts. Like, that fight was close enough that you could slide one of them judges a $20 bill and some bubble gum and it would have been a completely different turnout. But luckily, Islam Makhachev was able to take down Dustin Poirier, finish him, and get that fight sealed without having to go to the judges. I say all that to say the striking was very, very close in that fight. Like, very, very close. There were some rounds where Islam did not win in the striking. And if we're talking about Jack Della Maddalena, Jack Della Maddalena is like a better boxer than Poirier with more power than Poirier. So this is not just some walk in the park. If Islam was very close with Poirier at 155, I don't know if he's going to want to stand with Jack Della Maddalena. So then that leaves wrestling, right? So how did Islam do in wrestling? Round 2, Islam Makhachev went 1 for 4 on takedowns against Poirier. Against Poirier, guys. Total, he was 5 for 16 on Poirier, on 36-year-old Poirier. Belal Muhammad went 3 for 9 on takedowns against Jack Della Maddalena. And Islam Makhachev, the first time he fought Volkanovski, he went 4 for 9 on Volkanovski. With these Dagestanis, it's not so much how many times you attempt to take down, it's once you get it. Because these guys are just going to take you, they're going to shoot until they get you, and then it's going to be the control time that really kills you. But this is kind of showing the Craig Jones defense. Whatever it is, the booger sugar that he's on, he's a genius, man. He's getting these guys ready for Dagestani wrestling. And these guys are, every fight, able to fend off these takedowns better and better and get out of these positions better and better. Jack Della Maddalena showed it last weekend. To be real, man, we call Islam Makhachev, we call him an elite striker, we call him one of the best strikers, but he was pretty even with Volkan Poirier, who are elite strikers. But he was pretty even, more even than we think when we look at the stats. And we call Islam the best wrestler in the UFC behind who? Khamzat? But even Khamzat went 4 for 12 against Kamaru Usman. So maybe this could be a fight like that where Jack Della Maddalena stuffs a few takedowns early and that magic wears off and Islam is like, okay, I got to do something. I got to pull something out. You know, also in those fights, look at how his face looked after fighting Volkanovski. Look how small Volkanovski is. Look at his face after he fought Poirier. Now imagine Jack Della Maddalena is bigger than those guys, stronger than those guys, and a better boxer than both those guys.
You're a victim.
This is really dangerous for Islam Makhachev. This is not a walk in the park at all. Is his power gonna... He's not even known. Islam isn't known for having heavy hands. He's never knocked anyone out with his hands. He's gotten kicks off, but I don't know if his striking is really going to translate up to 170. I don't know if his wrestling is going to translate up to 170 with a big, strong Jack Della Maddalena, who's been training with Craig Jones now for 2 camps against Dagestani wrestling. I don't know, man. We're going to see. Here's a little tweet that Islam sent. He said, "You are not Volk. I'll show you different level. Keep my belt clean." Yeah, he's not Volk. He's not Volk. He's about 30, 40 pounds heavier than Volk and a better boxer and about 10 years younger. So, man, I got to tell y'all, man, before I looked into this, I was one of these guys who, bro, Islam Makhachev by whatever he wants, bro. I was one of them guys. But now that I look into it, I'm like, nah, this is going to be rough. This is going to be rough. Another thing, I think we sleep on Jack Della Maddalena. He doesn't make a lot of noise. He's from the bottom of the world and the most remote, literally the most remote city in the whole world. He's on an 18-fight win streak, bro. Like, that's one of the longest win streaks in the whole UFC. That's like Ilia Topuria. I think it's longer than Ilia Topuria. I think it's the only thing close is Makhachev. So yeah, this is a pretty awesome fight. I do not think it's going to be a walk in the park for Islam though. And right now, I give the slight edge to Jack Della Maddalena just off physicality and the skills that I saw that he showed last weekend. This is Flying Squirrel MMA. Thanks for listening. If you made it this far, give me a like, slash that like button. Don't make me start getting annoying with these requests. Hey guys, go ahead and sit on that like button real quick for me and slap that subscribe button right there on the behind for me. We're trying to get to 10,000. I'm not going to become one of them YouTubers, I promise. But just do it for me real quick. That sounded kind of weird. That sounded kind of ditty-ish, huh? Yeah, man, thanks for watching. Peace.